Everybody ready? Let's start here. Okay, so thanks everybody for showing up. We're getting ready to have a work session. Today is Tuesday, July 7th, 6 o'clock. And we'll stand up, do the Pledge of Allegiance, get the meeting started. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'd like to have a moment of silence to honor our military, firefighters, sheriff's deputies, and road workers as they serve our community here and abroad. Thank you. Tracy, will you please do roll call?
Trustee McLaughlin.
Present.
Trustee McGuire.
Present.
Trustee Mann.
Present.
Okay, so next in the work session, we have old business. There's nothing here lined out. Does anybody have something they want to talk about, old business-wise?
Do we want to do anything with setting up for video to broadcast our meetings? Is there any interest from the trustees?
With all of that involved.
We're going to buy some cameras for this room and probably some sort of web-type distribution.
Well, we're doing that now, man. That goes on Facebook or YouTube tomorrow morning.
But that's not a legal document.
Okay, so how does that,
Especially
how
after
does,
you
how does your,
add editorial too, that this would be something somebody could watch live.
so it's live, that's the difference. So making it live makes it legal. Being
No.
recorded like that's not legal.
No, let me rephrase why I spoke into your discussion. The township has to endorse and provide the video to the public for it to be a public record. Any individual owned equipment is not a public record of the township because it's not owned by the township.
Okay, then I don't, we've got to watch our money. We've been spending way too much money. So
Let's
my initial desire is no.
Okay.
Right?
Do you have a cost on it?
I mean, a while back, we got quotes from the vendors, and there wasn't much interest in that. I would say it's probably gonna cost us between $1,000 and $2,000 to set something like that up. From what I remember from the quotes.
And you're paying for this, service every time, every meeting also, on top of the initial cost,
I
correct?
think it's all just front-end cost, getting everything set up. There's one of the proposals doesn't have a big ongoing cost. It's just like initial setup fee or something.
Let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks with the pandemic.
And maybe bring that paperwork back out on the table next meeting. You know, if you want to talk about it, bring the figures and the quotes. I do remember talking about that, but I don't have the paperwork.
I guess, well, is there enough interest to put it back on the agenda and we can pick it over and,
Talk about it.
okay?
Roy, you have any other old business?
No.
Oh, you want to call it old business or new business? I don't remember what I just know. We was getting ready to end the meeting, several meetings back, and we had a resolution at the very end, we were going to adjourn, and the resolution was pulled out. Well, maybe it wasn't that one. But anyway, we had a resolution pulled out to not to renew Chief Lutz's contract. And I'd like to go over that. I know you've read it, Jim, because you want to write the resolution up. But his original contract started in 2/19/18. He went through 8, 19, and 18, 6 months. It renews every 6 months in an interval. So what we have with the resolution on the floor is not to honor his next 6-month renewal. The fire chief position carries a professional liability insurance of $10 million, of course, that we're paying. You pay that for anybody. You have a fire chief, you're going to have to give them liability insurance, kind of like our bond. The fire chief provides leadership, a departmental mission, develops a hiring process, and we had to go over attachment B, which I don't have with me. But do we have any issues with anything I've talked about so far? I'm trying to figure out why we don't have an issue, why we have an issue with this contract. We talked about, Warren made a comment in that same meeting that he had a few issues with the contract. Jim gave no reason, he just brought the thing out. We need to come to an agreement what we don't like about this, what we can change about this, so we keep the leadership we have in the fire department. So number 4, and I just went down and picked the things out of his contract. Number 4 was he gets paid, I'm not going to say the amount of money on this, per year on a 24-hour work week with no overtime. So he's set on a certain amount of money. He's supposed to give us 24 hours a week. Anybody know Mr. Gene only work 24 hours a week? We all know that he works more than that. He receives paid mileage. He drives his own vehicle down here and back. If that's an issue, let's talk about it. Is it? Do we have an issue with him getting paid, drive down here and lives a couple miles away, a couple hours away and back? Jim, is that a problem?
I'm not commenting on the HR issue in an open meeting. This is an executive level issue.
You brought it out in an open meeting, you brought the resolution out in an open
And
meeting
we
to
voted
not
on
to
it,
renew it.
and you had a chance to discuss it when the resolution was on the table. So
And you brought it out. How do I do that when you slam dunk it in front of me? I was not prepared for that. It takes time to prepare for an argument. And you brought that, threw it out on the floor, and caught us, at least you caught me by surprise. Maybe other people knew about it. We need to come to an agreement. If I saw an executive session on the meeting then, if that's what you want to go to executive session about, we'll go to executive session. But we need to come to an agreement, what we like, what we don't like about the fire chief's contract. The man has done us a fantastic job in this township. Look what he's done to the fire department. And why you want to do this, we need to talk about it. So you're saying that you don't even... Okay. He's provided a smartphone. Number 7, he receives no vacation, holidays, sick pay, bereavement pay, receives no health care. So if you replace him, you've got a gentleman that's retired. You replace him with a younger gentleman who needs, a family man, who needs vacation time, needs health care. You'd be paying more there. Receives paid housing while in town. Now, we all know that's no longer happening because he's living here. Is provided free uniforms, aren't we all? Is provided an office with office equipment, blah, 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 okay? Is provided an auto when in town. Yep, nice one too. Works 24 hours a week, attends meetings, provides needed reports. Township will pay for the chief to attend NFPA and IAFC courses, you firemen might know what that is, to maintain current certifications. The township pays for the chief to attend the Ohio Winter Chief Legislative Symposium and the Ohio Fire and Rescue Officers Development Conference. The township pays all expenses, including travel and lodging. Well, we paid for our administrator to go to the OTA and all his stuff, so I don't see why we should have a problem paying for that. The township will give the chief a 90-day written notice not to renew his contract. That's what's been done. The fire chief will give a township a 90-day written notice. Okay, then it goes on about discipline, and basically the process of discipline is a warning, there's suspension, there's termination. He can appeal it, and there's an arbitration committee set up. But if we have to go to executive session, we will go to executive session and discuss that stuff. So. Any other business?
there's one point in there you brought up. We don't offer vacation to part-time employees. So if you're gonna propose that for the chief, then you have to propose it for the whole workforce.
I see he doesn't get any work, he doesn't get any vacation time.
Sounds like you're looking to propose that?
Okay, well, do you think we have a replacement fire chief on a part-time status?
That's what we had before.
Did we? Okay. Okay, so I got that point. Thank you. That's no problem. No vacation. Okay. Any comments, Roy?
We're going to executive session tonight.
Yep.
Okay.
Discuss that. Okay, any other old business by anybody?
I don't know if this is old business. But I got a stack of stuff.
All right.
The first thing is what you gave me tonight, and I've been asking friends, I've sent emails about this check that we get, the rebate check from the county auditor, from the sheriff's office after, from 2019. They do whatever they gotta do, and they tell us how much we really owed, even though we paid our bill, and they give us a rebate. They've done that most of the years, we've gotten rebates most of the years I've been here. Physically, we were supposed to get $6,404.69. This issue's been going on for a long time. 6/16, I've asked that all the mail come to me unopened. All the mail should go in my mailbox. I've asked this and I've asked that. Nobody's tried to do anything about it. So we find out that this check has been in your mailbox. It came in May 15th, it was stamped. Today is what, July 7th?
What's the
The
date
date
on
on
the
the
check?
check is April 30th. 90 days, void after 90 days. This check is no good. I've been fussing since January when the sheriff's fiscal officer said she sent the check. I don't know where this has been between, and there may have been another check she sent. She kept saying, she gave me all these excuses about I was going to send over Captain Flag. I'm going to send it by certified mail. And now I find the check, this wasn't sent by certified mail, doesn't look like, you know, it's in your mailbox.
What was the second item he gave you?
I'm sorry.
Did he give you a second check?
No, that was just an explanation of how this money came out. That was a summary of how the money came out.
Here's an envelope dated February the 28th, sealed, received March 7th. It was laying on the ground outside of Wolf's office when I went in to pick up my tag.
Today?
Yes,
And
just passing it on to you.
thank you.
But this is an issue because you guys told me to pay the bill every 3 months. Last week, Steve, I, and Captain Flag sat in the office, and I told them clearly we did not get this check because I did not have it. Again, I'm asking the trustees to put some kind of resolution to tell them, do not open any mail, not even you guys, because I cannot track it and you guys are gonna make me responsible. I need to get all the mail in order for I can make a record of it. Somebody should not be holding these. I'm not blaming anybody for holding this, but I'm saying if you gave it to me, there wouldn't have been an issue. Somebody had it since May 15th when it was stamped by Adrian. She stamps all the mail that comes in, if she gets it. Sometimes she doesn't get the mail, so I get some that aren't stamped. So what are we gonna do about this? I have an issue with this. I'm still having issues today. There are invoices coming in that are not coming to me, and I have no clue that they've been in here, and I get phone calls. I sent these emails to you several times. I'm getting phone calls on invoices I know nothing about. And then later on, I get a stack of bills that have these invoices in, and I didn't know anything about it. I'm not pointing out anybody particular, but they know who they are. And this is a problem and it needs to be fixed. You know, you're looking for a better reputation for our payment of bills. We can't have it if people are interfering in the process. Now we need to do something about this, and I'm not signing any piece of paperwork because I just got this piece of paper today. Somebody needs to sign the paperwork to get this check reissued. Because I wasn't responsible for this check.
What is the date on the check?
The date on the check is April 30th. It was received in our office May 15th. Expired on June 28th. 90 days. It's now void. So we need a new check reissued. It's our money just sitting there. Could have been in the bank collecting interest.
Is that gonna be, the 28th of this month or?
June passed.
90 days?
So we need to change the policy of mail coming in. I mean,
Checking your drawer
Well,
periodically.
You know what,
I'm looking at
this came in May 15th.
Well, I didn't
April
move it.
30th, you're right.
You moved there.
I could probably still cash this check. I'll try to see if I can, but it may be July 29th. I'll see if I can still cash this check. But the issue still stands. There was no reason for this to sit there for 2 months.
I guess he could put it in my drawer specifically, it had my name, Prez or Mr. McLaughlin on it. But being board of trustees, why couldn't it be opened by you, Adrian, or somebody, and then stuck where it needs to be stuck?
I didn't
Certified mail comes in to one person, okay, then that one person needs to get it, but if it's the board,
But I just handed you an envelope from March you didn't open, so clearly you're not checking your mail. So is it a problem with our staff or a problem with you checking your mail? And you say you're not going into Calumet Center, so you saying you want to give up your office? And you can give
I've
it to
never been in
the
it.
employee?
no minute. It has to do with parcels land, they still call it a landfill. We need to go.
So is anything gonna be done about these checks not coming to me and invoices not coming to me first so I can track them or what? Or you guys just gonna let that sit and not do anything about it? There needs to be something done about this.
Well, in the regular meeting, can we make a policy for Steve, something, I mean, I don't know how we want to handle this, so Adrian needs to open everything up and.
It's fine if she puts it in, it's fine if she puts it in my mailbox, because I go up there every day.
Now, question. A while back, when we had this similar type of situation, I guess I kind of kicked around the idea of proposing that anything that hits the door gets scanned in. But I just had a thought. The Postal Service has a new app that tracks all the inbound mail.
It's
Would
not
that
new.
work for
It's-
us?
It's not new, and I don't know if you can sign up for a business or not. It's been out there.
Because that
for a
would
while.
give us the manifest of stuff that's coming at you.
Yeah, that would give us stuff coming to the mail. We're getting a lot of invoices that aren't coming to the mail. That would give us that. It would pick up the majority of it. But there still needs to be something that says this shouldn't go to Steve Wolf, it should go to accounts payable. Because I may not be the fiscal officer, it shouldn't come to Tracy Edwards, it goes to accounts payable, or the fiscal officer, or the finance department. But if the invoice, it should not go to Steve Wolf or Gene Lutz, it should go to the accounts payable. Or any trustee. Because I can't track it. Again, I don't know, I can check into that and see if you could do it for a business, but that's not gonna get everything. When you have the people that work with people and they hand you an invoice, it's not gonna get that.
So the mail comes in at Calumet and it's dropped off to Adrian.
It's not dropped off to Adrian, but it's dropped off in that building. Adrian goes, picks it up, and then she stamps it all, and she puts, as far as I know, after that point, she puts it all in my mailbox. I don't know if she's been instructed to give anybody certain certain mail or not, because like I said, sometimes I get it after it's been opened.
So are you okay with going through all the mail, opening the mail, and then deciding what goes where?
And you guys are making me responsible for everything, and I should be able to get all the mail.
I have no problem with that.
So what are we gonna do? Just tell Adrian to give you all the mail?
You want her to stamp it?
Yes, still stamp it so I know when it came in.
Stamp the date on it and put it in a pile, and here you go, Tracy.
She puts it in my mailbox.
All right, can we physically tell her that?
I don't know, that's up to you guys. I mean, how will it stick? I
You
say
guys-
resolution, I
You
don't
need to tie
know.
that together with the resolution. With as many documents that came up missing in the audit, we need a second set of eyes seeing what's received in this office. Or something needs to be scanned.
So what do you suggest?
We'll have to work on it.
So that's not the answer, just get everything, so Adrian sees it first, she stamps it, she gives it to Tracy, Tracy opens everything up, this goes here, this is mine. That's not good enough, that's two sets of eyes. On the outside of the envelope.
Well, we've still gotta have a record of what was received. Not, she picks up a pile of mail.
Well,
and hands it to
having a
Tracy.
record of what was received is a prime, not having a record of what was received is a prime example of why we are where we are today.
No, the stuff you gave them is because you're not checking your drawer, Mike. Your drawer was an inch thick with paper.
Well, how do you know that? You've been looking
Because
at
I can
it?
see down through it with
Oh.
my drawer open.
Well,
You're
well,
not
I
coming
mean,
in
that's
and
not
doing
gonna-
your job
this
as
is not gonna
trustee,
fix
checking your
the
mail
problem.
and the copies of the emails that Wolf's putting in there for us.
Accusing each other is not gonna fix the problem that's on hand
We
right
need to-
now.
Well, I agree. We've had too many invoices that we have to chase in the office.
So I just need an answer from you guys.
Right. Let's try that for a little bit. Adrian stamps it, it goes to Tracy, and we'll do that for a couple months and see how it goes.
I want to see a resolution on that.
Okay, so that means
So if
we're
you're
gonna
gonna
hold it
change
to
the
the next
policy, you
meeting.
need a record of it.
So we're gonna hold that to, what policy do we have right
Yeah,
now?
that's,
Well, I guess we're gonna have to create one.
you can't just make a motion to do it that way? It has to
Well, I
be a
mean,
resolution.
eventually, we're gonna have to write a policy, but in the meantime, we need this done. We can't
Just
wait
try.
on when those policies get done, so we need something right now, today. Even if it's in the meeting minutes that says you guys verbally agreed upon it when we had the meeting, and then we go from there, and then we gotta have a policy. We're gonna have to have a policy. I mean, I got a list right now, Steve and I discussed that we need to discuss the list of policies we need to have. So I have a list of that as well. But I'm trying to go through these important things. I mean, all is important, don't get me wrong, but in my mind, these checks and these bills not getting to me so I can pay them and prevent me from getting all these phone calls that I have no idea why I'm getting and why I bills late when I don't have it. That's important to me right now.
Okay, go ahead and put it on your list.
What am I just
That we're gonna, that someone's gonna do a policy for this and we're gonna do a resolution. Do you wanna do the resolution?
We can't just try it for a month or two without a policy to see if it works before we write the policy and then have to change the policy if that doesn't work.
Well, he's indicating she needs something.
Okay. You want a policy written for that, Tracy?
Eventually, we'll just get this done now. Eventually, we need to write a policy like next meeting. And
Okay.
I don't mean like keep putting it off because we keep putting it off and we're gonna get stats of stuff. Okay, so that's one thing. I get other stuff, let's see. The Miami Valley, did any of you guys go into your mailbox today, because I just got this today on the Taft Avenue vacant lot, that, Miami Valley, I don't even know what it stands for, it's MVAH Partners. They didn't spell it out, that's all I know. And they're mentioning that, they're on a piece of vacant land on Taft Avenue, and they wanna see if you're interested. They no longer have any use of the property.
Is that from Land Bank or?
It says MVAH Partners. I don't know who that is. I put a copy in each of you guys' mailbox. This copy is for Steve, so that he's aware of it. So each of you guys should have a copy in your mailbox, but I don't want it to fall through the cracks. If you guys are interested in this land, this is the mail I got today.
You have a copy of that?
Yes, I do. That's your copy?
Tracy, next time when you get something like this, if you want me to have a copy, please email me.
I
So
just
there's a
didn't have
so there's a
time.
written document
I
on
didn't
record.
have time to email it to you, that's
Okay.
why I made a copy. I just got it today.
Can you email a copy tomorrow to me?
Yes, I can. I
Thank
have
you.
it. Email.
Thank you.
Okay, so, that's for you guys' information. And if we want that property, you guys might want to act on it. And Steve, I don't know if you want, I don't understand this, so I don't know if you can elaborate on it or not. I know you just got it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Okay. The next thing is meeting minutes. It is now July, 1st of July. We haven't done any meeting, really written meeting minutes for this year. I went through heck last year from September to December, going through those minutes, hours and hours on doing those meeting minutes, word for word. We need a resolution immediately to determine, you guys gotta determine how you wanna handle. We've been discussing it the last two meetings, and we discuss it and then it drops. We need to handle these meeting minutes. The public needs to be aware of what's going on. I have posted all the audio minutes for this year on the website. Any comments? We need a resolution, we need something determined.
How far have we completed up through the service that's been catching us up?
What do you mean as far, when you say as far?
Like,
You mean as far as the money amount?
no, what meeting she's on that she's been transcribed?
Oh, what she's done with last year, that's, I think, now you correct me, Mr. Mayor, if I'm wrong, all you had to do was last year's, correct?
And
To the end of the year, from September to the end of the year, and it's complete, it's done, we did that the last meeting or the meeting before last, I can't remember, but it's complete.
So we have about 7 to 10 meetings we probably need to catch up.
I didn't count it. In January, February, and March, well, January and February, we had 2 meetings each. I think one, then maybe March we had 2, but then.
There again, we've gotten quite, we're spending, there again, how much money do we spend on getting what we have in the last year product? You know, about what we paid her, got any idea what the total was?
I'm guessing, really guessing, because it was a separate bid, probably over 5,000.
So, we had this discussion before, and I know Jim disagreed. No other township in the area does minutes word for word for word. So at that point, we hired a dictator to listen to it and write it down word for word. Everybody else does, here's a 2-3 page report, of how many pages, a general idea of the topics we were talking about, blah, 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 blah. So if the resident's looking at that, man, I need to know more about that. Okay, so the audio recordings are on the website. They can find video on different other social media. Why are we spending the money to have it written out on there word for word? We need to watch our expenses and have that just a short version. This meeting's this, blah, blah, blah. That's what I say we do. But, last time we said that, Jim, you still agree where you wanted word for word all the time?
Absolutely.
I disagree.
But
And
you're a
why?
guy that doesn't do paperwork.
Huh?
You don't believe in doing paperwork.
Well,
There's
see,
got
we're
to
not
be
here to
a-
start debating on that again. I just need an answer from you guys. I just need, and by the way, do any of you get this magazine? Do you read it? Please read the article, Ask the Fiscal Officer. Talks about meeting minutes. Please read that article. And we need something determined, whether you do it tonight, but it needs to be determined immediately, because the longer you wait, the more minutes gonna need to be just transcribed. Or however you determine to do it.
No, so you gotta have paperwork, you bring up paperwork, Jim. Well, how come nobody else, you know another township is anywhere near us that does it word for word? I looked around, it's been months ago, probably a year ago now, I looked around, and nobody does it. General idea.
They also haven't worked through the issues that we've dealt with. They're also, I mean, you got missing meetings.
You know what?
You got meetings that were missing. I mean, our record of our meetings has been terrible. It's like,
And that's why I bought a tape recorder and why I bought a video recorder, to
Well-
help alleviate that problem.
the trustees are well aware of why we're in this situation. So fast tracking it, simple wham bam approach to keeping our minutes, that's not good. It's not healthy, and that's no way to run a township.
Well, like I said, I've posted all the audio tapes on the website. What more can we do in the meeting when that's word for word audio tapes right there. The only issue is you don't have a typed copy.
And that's so expensive.
Well, and let me go back. You don't need anything typed until you have some issues. And at that point, you can hire somebody to type them word for word. Why type all of them word for word now? If that's the case, there has to be, this is how I view it. You can go with the summarized thing until you need something, somebody comes in and requests word for word, as a records request, then you hire somebody to do it. But not every single meeting minutes needs to be typed word for word. That's, like you said, a waste of money, which we don't have. That's the key thing, we don't have that money to keep doing these things.
Well, why don't we talk about, forget word for word, or somebody just, typing them out. What are we gonna do? Let's take care of that issue, and then we can deal with this issue. It's not a big
Again,
deal.
I ask you to read this article in here. If you want me to read the part I'm stressing, I can read that if you want me to.
Please do.